Welcome to another episode of Arkansas Basketball Recap. Tonight, late night edition. We're tired. Do we remember everything? Probably not. It's fine. We're going to talk about it because it's just an exhibition game. We don't have to like break down every single thing. We don't have to remember it all. It's an exhibition game. It doesn't count. We're still 0-0 at the end of this. But what happens? Arkansas goes on the road test at Memphis, gets down early, but behind the strength of the bench, particularly Malik Thomas, Billy Richmond, Ewing. They rally back and after being down 15, come back and beat the Memphis Tigers by a score of 99-75. This one was a little bit of not like a roller coaster. It's really just kind of like one big dip and then back up. Maybe a little bit in the very beginning of the second half. You're like, oh crap, did they spend it all? But beginning of this game made you nervous. Like you got to see the team go on the road. You know, this team, Memphis, a little more athletic than Cincinnati was. They came out with some intensity. The defense looked good for Memphis, and we got punched in the mouth a little bit. And you're not in Bud Walton. You're over there in Memphis, and man, the boys had to rally back. And dude, what a bench! I mean, I got to tell you, if Malik Thomas, who is dude, this that dude's just a bucket, right? This dude is just a guy that goes and gets buckets. If that dude with that kind of scoring prowess embraces the role of six man, then props, bro. Because a lot of guys wouldn't do it, man. And if he does, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, this was a weird game. For people that didn't watch it, if there's anybody that didn't watch it, I mean, you should if you're able to, because actually it's hard to say it's hard to say it was a good game because it was
A lot of
real
fouls.
really ugly at times. I mean, that last 10 minutes wouldn't end. And but it was a weird game. And to me, you tell me what you think. When I first started watching, I mean, I texted you when I started it because I started it late, which is part of the reason it's so late. But um, I started it and was like, I didn't. I mean, I've seen Memphis play since they've had Hardaway there. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, I know they play. I mean, they're good, but I was like, is he doing something different this year? Like, is he taking the VCU Shaka Smart, circa early 2008 or something, whatever it was? Because I was like, I've never seen them play like this before. Like, I didn't think I knew his style was play hard, but not like this. This was something else. I mean, they were denying the inbounds pass
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the jump. You know what I mean? Like you don't really see teams do that much in obviously the pros or the college because the ball handlers are just so good, and it just is like a waste of energy almost.
Right,
And
rattled us.
well, because you what you do is you have to play so hard because of how talented at the college level the ball handlers are that the returns are diminishing. You know what I mean? Because you're like your guy is having to play literally like with his just RPMs red line to 9, and what you're getting out of it is you're making it where instead of having 20 seconds to get their shot, they've got 16 because it takes
Yeah.
them another, that long to get the ball into play. And every once in a while you get a turnover, but not too often. But man, the way those guys were playing, I was like, there's no possible way they can sustain this. And then especially because when VCU did it, he got like 12 guys that were fast and just subbed five at a time and
Yeah.
just played them ball. And I was like, he wasn't really subbing. This was the same group of guys that played for the first 7 minutes. And I was like, if these guys can sustain this level of energy, I was like, this will be the greatest feat of athletic conditioning I've ever seen. Because, and sure enough, turns out they can't. And not only that, it felt like they sort of blew. I mean, they punched themselves out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I was thinking when I was watching that because of how hard that kind of defense is to play against and how annoying and irritating and how obviously it gets you out of rhythm, gets in your head. And I mean, like I said, it's not a coincidence when that stuff starts happening that you start missing layups, open shots,
Yeah.
hesitating, turning the ball over on times when they're not even around you. You just start seeing ghosts. And um but I thought I was afraid we were going to have gassed out trying to play against that. And it turns out, I think, kind of a little bit, our starters, not that our starters gassed out, but it was a good thing we got good players on the bench because those guys brought in the second wave of soldiers that came in with fresh legs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who you would pick for the most standout because we needed all of them, but I mean, certainly Billy and
Yeah.
and I,
Malik. Yeah.
Malik, I mean, and at different times, different little runs.
Hmm.
Malik kept us in the game, kept that 15-point lead from becoming a 25 point lead, and then was able to actually shrink it down to like 5. And but then, like you said, I'm glad you said Ewing because he was low key really important, especially because
Hmm.
Pringle had the foul trouble. So anyway, I didn't even lay that. So yeah, the way the game went, if you didn't watch it, is we came out and they were playing the most insane, energetic, full court press defense, and it completely rattled us. And we looked the way Cincinnati looked. Honestly, it was very similar to that. Only we weren't even playing as hard as Memphis was playing at the beginning of that game against Cincinnati, and they racked up a 15-point lead, and it was frustrating. And our guys were airballing and missing layups, and I mean, Brazil missed a powerhouse windmill dunk off the. I mean, I was like, dude, if I did that, I would blow my rotator cuff to pieces. If I tried to dunk, I mean, not that I could, but if I
Yeah.
went at anything and slammed my arm and it didn't go through the net, it just went off the rim. I know I would have all kinds of torn things. Um, but then it kind of evened out. It was they were up by what, 3 at halftime,
Yeah. Yep.
4, 3, 4,
3.
and then we came out and really, I mean, with the exception of they hit a 1 3-pointer to kind of they actually got that lead quickly up to 8 in the
Yeah.
first minute of the second half.
And then I think we went on a mad run after that.
Yeah, and dude, I cannot believe that we end up winning this game by 20 points, 20 plus.
24.
That's crazy. That's
I mean, you win this thing
it's a
by
50-point turnaround.
it's well, it's 24. It's a 40-point turnaround. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Especially, but like I said, I do think you did see on both sides the legs kind of go a little bit.
Hmm.
I think you saw that in uh our dribble drivers were just a little bit out of step, and we were missing all kinds of like,
Oh, dude,
and they weren't easy. They were just
dude, A Cup got to the rim like 3 times where it was like, I mean, and it was sick, just like, just being faster and strong and stuff, and then just couldn't quite fit. And you're just like, man,
yeah, because
but
and part of it was like his steps would be off.
yeah,
So like he,
yeah.
he made the right move and he got the advantage, but then like he took like one weird step and then had to
Hmm.
like flip it up a little bit hard or something. Yeah, and Wagner missed a couple of those too. There was a couple of that things, but it was worse for them. I mean, dude, I felt bad for the refs in a way because I thought the refs were a little bit probably should have called a little bit more early because the way that defense was. I mean, dude, but it's one of those things where I mean, credit to Memphis. I guess we always say this. There's a way that a team can set the like rules in a way where it's like you can't call all these fouls. And I'm
Right.
not talking about the ones that are on the ball. There's
Yeah.
fouls happening on every screen. I mean, if you look around away from the ball, everybody that moves is getting grabbed, is getting pushed, is getting elbowed. Like everybody's getting hip checked. And there's just too many. There's such a level of physicality that they tend to just be like, all right, well, I mean, these light touches I can't call. You know what I mean?
Well, dude,
And
what's crazy about that too is that Arkansas shot 37 free throws in this game. 37. That's a lot of free throws to shoot in a game. And this game would have been even more out of hand if Arkansas hadn't shot 67% from the free throw line. I mean,
I know. I mean, they missed so many early too. I mean, they were terrible early.
with the exception of, Ewing really helped us out in that department. He goes, and so did Acuff. Acuff goes 5 of 6. Ewing goes 7 of 7 from the line. Yeah, we make 25 free throws in this game. The bench part is crazy, and one of the reasons it's crazy is because we had 51 points off the bench, but we only played 3 guys. So we had 99 points. 51 of those were from the 3 guys off the bench.
Dang. Yeah, I think I actually didn't get to look at the stat sheet. Who made up the? I mean, were those pretty like obviously Malik, but like did they?
Malik had 23. He was the leading scorer again, 2 games in a row. Malik Thomas, the leading scorer, he had 23 points. Um, Billy Richmond had 13, and Malik Ewing had 15. Yeah,
And a lot
so
of those were from the free throw line, huh?
there's 7 of them. But dude, Ewing was good. Ewing was 4 of 5. Took 5 shots, made 4 of them, and went 7 of 7 from the line. I mean, that's pretty good work. If you're
Yeah,
gonna,
and he did a lot of other things well this game that didn't show up on the stat sheet, just like grabbing loose balls when there
mm,
was because this is one of those games where I mean, for anybody who's played basketball, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when you're playing pickup ball, it's when you've had a chippy game and it's 11-11 and you're playing to 12 and you go back and forth 6 possessions and
yeah,
like somebody's going to make a tough shot because anybody gets a whiff of an open look, they're getting freaking body checked. You know what I mean? And if the ball gets loose, I mean, it's like
yeah,
just a dog pile. And he did a good job of.
yeah,
I mean, I was going to say that's what the whole game felt like. And so when the ball bounced onto the floor, it was like, dude, you better be on it because I mean, like I said, credit to Memphis. Every one of those guys was going to be diving at that ball if it was
yeah,
loose.
yeah,
And um, and honestly, I do think that we didn't match their energy at the beginning, but I mean, it was a great test. I mean, like, I think if you weren't just, if you're a Wise fan and you were drawing up a perfect second game, this would be the kind of one that you
yeah,
would draw up.
dude.
I
And,
mean, it
and
would
it's
have been
been
nice to
a
come out and just punch somebody in the mouth and be like, we're the greatest team in the world because we're beating this team too. But to face some adversity where it was like the other crowd was into you, I mean, it was chippy. Those guys
mm,
did not like each other. There was texts. I mean, dude, the fact that was not. I honestly was sitting there. I was actually questioning the wisdom of this. I was like, this is the kind of game that guys get hurt in.
right.
This felt like a tournament game or
Well,
something like
dude,
that.
Billy had a fall that I would have been in the hospital after. See the way he landed?
Yeah. Oh, and dude, I don't know if you saw, but like, after, I'm glad I didn't see it before. When I played ball last night, when I got home, I turned on the Giants game. Want to check out Scattaboo and the Dart guys just because they're all the talking. Did you see what happened?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Holy moly, dude! That made me never want to walk or jump or do anything again. And I'm watching the Hogs. If for anybody to know, this Scattaboo guy turned his ankle sideways, and I don't mean
yeah,
theoretically. I mean
yeah,
it was at a 45-degree angle. Ka-chink! Like gross. Not quite as bad as when like that bone came out of that Louisville player's leg, but
yeah,
almost that bad. Like
yeah,
one of those things where when you see it, you just go, "Oh God, no! I don't want that to happen to anyone ever."
yeah,
And after watching these guys like leave the ground and everybody's getting body checked and thrown around, I was like, this game doesn't count. Shouldn't there be some kind of like gentleman's agreement between Cal and Hardaway that like, yeah, I mean, we're gonna all play hard, but like not like one of us is about to make the tournament and whoever goes other person's season's over kind of energy. You know what I mean? Like I'm shocked that game was played at that level. I thought that the Cincinnati game was played hard, but
yeah,
this game was like another level. I was like, oh, guys,
yeah,
I don't know if this is smart.
yeah. Well, dude, one of the things too, as bad as now, kind of as cold as Arkansas started, to finish the game shooting 55.7% as a team,
Mm-hmm.
that lets you know that they weren't missing a lot after that initial, 12 minutes or so, because that field goal percentage was nowhere near 55.7. the first 12 minutes of that game. Uh, yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot of performances here to talk about. We out rebounded them pretty badly, which is great. You like to see that. Man, I feel like Trevin is playing different. I mean, he's like the way he's snatching boards, he's going after everything. Dude, that head fake three, one dribble and just in the rafters. Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, it was funny because that step was so big because it's the perfect heat because he you could tell the reason that guy jumped so hard on and bit so hard on that is because he actually thought about almost shooting it. You know what I mean?
But and you
And
got
he
and he might
really,
and with Trevin, he might like you got to
yeah.
go out, get out there.
Oh, he could have got it off. That guy wasn't going to block him, but he just rose all the way up onto his tippy toes, and then just had since he had all this momentum, he just swung it perfect and took. I mean, dude, one big step, and then not kind of a reaching dunk, but just like a powerhouse dunk. I mean, I know it's not as far because it's from the side, but
But no,
still,
dude,
how many guys?
I mean, like coming down with two hands, like you're on top of the rim.
How many guys can do that? Can do one dribble and dunk like that from the 3 point line?
Not many, dude. And then so I thought he was, getting after rebounds, all that stuff. I'm trying to look here. Where's he at on this thing? So Brazil. I mean, he only had 8 points, but probably all dunks.
All dunks, yeah.
Yeah. He had 7 rebounds, so that's good. I like that. It was 8 points, 7 rebounds. But he had 3 blocks again. So he had 3 blocks the first game, 3 blocks this game.
Two of
And
them were on 3 pointers.
yeah, two of them were guys trying to pull on him, run it. Dude, that dude, don't shoot it if he's running out on you, dude. He's gonna get his hand on that. And the other one was from a 7-1 guy trying to put him in the spin cycle, and he just sent that thing out of there. So I thought I like the way that Brazil's playing, and if he just keeps up that energy, I think he's going to be great. Billy, dude, um, like I'm going to give like player of the game to Malik Thomas, but man, Billy was important, man. He has 13 points. How about Billy hitting two threes? Which is like, okay, all right, are you gonna hit threes this year? Is that something have you been working on the three, dude? If you're gonna hit threes, then that's going to be a problem. But he hits two threes, and then he has two, like in a short span, two monster blocks.
Dude, this is why I'm saying like you got to watch this game if you didn't if you were thinking, nah, I'll wait till it counts. The way some of these guys played at certain moments, I mean, like I said, part of it was so some of it was ugly and physical in an ugly way, but dude, yeah, those two blocks of Billy's, that one where they called the timeout afterwards, where he hit the padding. And I mean, dude, it's just crazy. It's just you can't time a block any better. He was so high. I mean, it was almost a goaltend. It was off the backboard. And then that one Knox had.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah,
Knox had a freaking crazy jump chase down block.
yeah.
And I mean, and then he's another player. Knox was big at times.
Well,
You know what I mean?
not so Knox gets you. I mean, the rebounding was really spread out, which is nice. So Carter Knox has 10 points, and you're like, oh, like isn't he like our best player? Isn't he like the guy that's for sure going pro? He only took 4 shots. He was 3 of 4. Took 4 shots, made 3 of them. Like Carter Knox, 10 points. Went 4 of 6 from the free throw line. That's good enough. Had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and a monster block. But and and he actually had some dimes too. A couple of his assists were like there's a lot of dimes in this game. So I thought Knox was great. Acuff, he was 6 of 16, so he didn't have the best shooting night. Like you said, he blew some stuff, which he's gonna make. Like that's the thing is you saw him get, and you're like, okay, that's fine. You're gonna make that. But he was 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 0 turnovers.
Which is crazy. I think his legs were feeling a little bit of what the Memphis guys' legs were, which is like he's the one that mostly handled the ball under that first wave.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? For the majority of it, he was the one that was fighting those guys. And I do think that sucked some of his energy out. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I mean, he finishes with 17 points, 7 assists, zero turnovers. You're like, I mean,
I can't
I
believe
give
he has
it.
zero turnovers for the way that they were playing him.
I know. I mean, yeah, it's great. That's crazy. And then Malik Thomas, dude, 23 points, goes 9 and 15. That's super efficient. Hits three threes again. But here's the other thing about Malik Thomas, dude. He does. I mean, so three guys had 7 rebounds. He's one of them. So he had 7 rebounds last game, led the team, tied for leading the team in this game with 7 rebounds. He's not just out there scoring. I mean,
No, his energy, I mean, it was partially his shooting threes, which not just the obvious point implications of those, but his threes also because we were down and he was like they brought energy to the team, but they also energized him in a way that like he was starting to like create steals, if not outright getting the steal, just being participating and getting hands on balls, chest bumping the other guys. Like he brought a lot of, and I would say that's the number one thing that you're encouraged about. I mean, like I said, still small sample size. You never know what
yeah,
this
well,
team's going to end up being,
him and
but
Billy bring a lot of that like energy at the bench. And I don't just mean like playing hard energy, which they both do. They both play super hard, but like a lot of the like chest bumping, butt slapping, like that kind of stuff. They bring a lot of that.
well, and it's just nice to know that like in a game where maybe some of your other guys aren't having success or maybe even are a little bit rattled, which like I said, they obviously were. I mean, Brazil certainly you could tell was majorly uncomfortable in that style for the first 6 minutes, 6, 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Where like
Mhm.
it's just that, and I understand it because I'm this way too. If you're not a good ball handler, like if that's not your thing, that's a nightmare out there.
Yeah.
Like you catch the ball. I mean, you could tell Ewing was the same thing, but Ewing is a little bit broader and a little bit better passer. So
Mhm.
he was, and he was still like, they were still trying to get the ball from him. He just was a little bit more confident. But yeah, Brazil, you could tell he was like catching the ball and just like feeling like, oh my gosh, somebody's about to take this from me or come up from behind or strip me. He could not get comfortable in that first 10 minutes. And they were all, obviously I had a little bit of the yips, just missing shots, missing layups, turning the ball over, throwing some bad passes. And it's just nice to know that like when your main players are doing that, you hope, and this will happen at some point where, it'll be a cuff that is the guy on the floor that like becomes the general and takes the game into his hands. And sometimes it'll be, Knox probably as a leader, maybe sometimes Brazil. But dude, it's nice to know that you got other guys on the bench. I mean, even you expect probably maybe sometimes Pringle to settle things down by like getting easy putback buckets or something. He's in foul trouble sitting on the bench. And it's like, so who's going to step up? And you had multiple guys off the bench step up in a way where they were like, they at different moments put the whole thing on their back and were like, let's go. You know what I
But
mean?
by the way, speaking of Pringle, this is the second game in a row where we start the game with Acuff just throwing the ball at the rim. The first game against Cincinnati, it was Brazil. This game, he just threw it up and Pringle went and got it and slammed it. Pringle was in foul trouble the whole game. He only, eventually he's going to play more than 11 minutes if he can stay out of foul trouble. But uh, dude, Pringle had a play. I know you know what I'm talking about, where there's a rebound that he just ripped out of another man's hands, and the guy was reeling back and just two-hand just slammed it in his face. Like, dude, it was. I would have just went home.
Yeah, it looked like a 35-year-old uncle, doing it out there playing on Thanksgiving with his 12-year-old nephew and just like rip it out of his hands. uh,
That was demoral. I mean, I love having a dude like that on the team, man.
I will say, and I think I said this the first thing, the one thing that could maybe make this team like just more solid is if we had one more big guy
Hmm.
that was if he was slightly not as good as Pringle and Ewing, but just like still very serviceable. That I can see us in a game. I can see running into foul trouble. I mean, I guess Brazil is that other big guy, but I just don't know why. I just think of him as like
Yeah,
more of a forward player.
he played the five some tonight, and they just slid Carter down to the four or Billy.
Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
is which is fine. Carter's big enough to do it, like
Hmm.
and strong enough. But yeah, he is that like you when they go kind of smaller, Brazil ends up at the five. And here's the thing: is last year. at the beginning of the year, I would have been very uncomfortable with that because I don't think Brazil plays physical enough. I think he's playing pretty physical. Like I saw him when he was at the five, get posted up and guys trying to bump it, and like he wasn't moving a lot. Like he was absorbing that contact and like standing his ground. And I think you're going to see a more physical defensive, both defensively and offensively, but particularly in the post. I think Brazil's going to do a better job this year. They're going to be kind of like he was at the end of last year.
Yeah, again, like I said, I mean, I think we're good at that spot. I can just see a few games in the SEC when we run into some of these teams that have three or four big men
Hmm.
that are 6'10 plus, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? That if you got in foul trouble, which you could, Pringle obviously is a little bit foul prone. And if Ewing did as well, where
yeah,
it could put some stretch on your lineup. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah, for sure. Did you think you saw a little bit more of like Malik Ewing's touch? Like he's got a pretty good touch around the rim and stuff, like finishing ability.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I thought he did great. I thought he stood out. I mean, if it wasn't for, like I said, everybody had their moments. I mean, and I mean that's a good thing, really. I
Hmm.
like you said last time. It's hard to. It makes it. I mean, I guess it's easier to talk about because there's more to talk about than if you just have a guy that goes for 35 and then a couple other guys that get his, like 6 points or something.
Yeah,
But I mean, this game, I wanted to kiss every single buddy out there at one point or
yeah,
another. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well,
I
and
mean,
then
like I said,
you have another game too, like Wagner. This game, Wagner only had 2 points last game. Tonight he has eight. Last game he took 3 shots. He took 4 shots tonight. Like Wagner was 2 of 4, 1 of 1 from the free throw. 1 of 1 from three, uh, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, and had 4 rebounds. But he doesn't. He looks really comfortable. Like I don't like. He seems like um he's playing. He's picking up the other team's lead guard, and I think it's good that you're not having to be like, man, if DJ doesn't have 16, I don't know, like that's going to be rough. I don't really think he wants to do that.
no, I mean, like I said, he'll have a game where he scores 18 or 20,
Yeah.
but no, I mean, he's just the kind of player that he's just not thirsty to score. Not, I mean, like, I mean,
Hmm.
it's just in certain guys, you know what I mean? And
I mean,
I
it's a
mean,
great
obviously,
and it's great to have a guy that good on your team that doesn't feel like, I don't, that doesn't appear that he's going back to the locker room after the game being like, how did I only get 4 shots? What the heck? Because here's the other thing. He has the ball all the time. If he wants more shots, he could take more shots.
yeah.
He's not relying on anyone else to get him the ball.
No, I mean, I definitely think if somebody, like if a basketball scout was going to level a critique, they would say he's more reluctant, like he's more of a negatively reluctant than, but like he should probably increase his aggressiveness on offense as far as, be a little bit more, make yourself more difficult to guard by taking
Mm,
more shots. But I think it does work for this team having a confident, seasoned veteran of college basketball that doesn't gobble up a ton of
mm,
unnecessary shot attempts. And part of it is that, and this is probably the negative part for him, is he's not the most talented shooter. Like,
right.
you know what I mean? Like, so he's a great downhill driver. He's got a great finish. He finishes strong with his left hand. But he's just not an elite level shooter from jump shot or 3-pointer. He's good. He's serviceable. His talent is ball handling, not turning the ball over, setting up the offense, getting other guys in the right position,
And
and
guarding the other
and
team's best
and
guard.
and playing defense. Yeah, and staying in front of the other players, fast guys. And yeah, I mean, both ways. There's attributes and good things to say about both kinds of guards. You can have Allen Iverson, who's like a guy that's your
Mm.
main point guard, has the ball and scores 40, but there's a lot to be said for a floor general, more of a John Stockton-y type guy, although that's not really the right example because he's not exactly the same type of player, but you know what I mean.
He's just
Uh,
steady. It's good to have someone that's just like I think DJ is going to be like Mr. Reliable this season. Like you're going to be like, I know, like we know what we're getting from DJ. We got to worry about him. which is great. Like that's
I
great.
hope. I mean, dude. I mean, I really hope they all get along because it seems like Acuff is the perfect complement of a guy that, like, if anything, you need to rein in because he wants to score every time,
Mhm.
and then only to be outdone by Malik, who is like
Yeah,
only passing the ball because he absolutely has to.
dude, his shot is kind of nice. Like that thing is quick, man.
Yeah, no, and yeah, because that's the thing is he could have made another three.
He could have.
I mean, another three threes. Like
Yeah,
he shot a couple that just rimmed out.
yeah. I mean, I know this is just two exhibition games, so we can overreact a little bit, but um, I don't. I mean, Nelly was a pretty good shooter, um, but I don't think he was. He didn't look the same as Malik shooting the ball. Like Malik's got a better shooter, I think, than anyone we had on the team last year, which by the way does help, man. It really does help. Like I don't think you can leave him open.
No, and like you said, even the quick release thing, like there was some pretty small windows that if a man had a less quick release, I don't know if you'd like it wasn't terrible defense. It's a pretty
Yeah,
good closeout, but it was like, yeah, but that he just needs to touch it.
yeah,
And you know he's got that, and it's weird because he doesn't actually shoot it like that every time, but he has a quick release where he just doesn't bring it into the shooting pocket, like he
hmm
just grabs it and flicks it.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, I mean when that defense is aggressive like that, that can make all the difference.
yeah,
Because like I said, I don't know if everybody else that has a regular shot, like if the other team's playing that good at a closeout defense, like you're just not going to get them off, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. But it's good because having teams throw zone at us was so frustrating. Mostly because it's a junk defense and it's not supposed to work, and it did work a lot of the time against us. And I think Malik is gonna make that much more difficult because if they throw a zone at you, I'm assuming the first thing that Cal does when he sees a zone is grabs Malik, grab Malik off the bench, and like say we're not doing that, right? Which is
Yeah, and
good.
I mean, knock on wood, but it seems like everybody's shooting a little bit higher percentage.
hmm
Knox is shooting well, you know. I mean, we haven't seen enough of.
A Cup can hit threes. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, Acuff will shoot them more confidently than you know probably either of our guards last year, only because Nelly's wrist was hurt, and
yeah,
that really did jack up the first half of it. Like
yeah,
you could tell he never got as confident until the tournament.
yeah,
Really, you know.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
Um,
And if Billy's gonna shoot threes, buddy. I better if downhill Bill is gonna freaking also be like 3 and D guy, then I don't know. That's a problem, dude. Like Billy Richmond, um, that dude has athleticism like to spare, dude. Like,
and I really hope these guys can all stay healthy, man. They because it does make me nervous the way that they fly through the air.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So final thoughts. I mean, Final Four. Look at, I mean, like I don't know, like. Because you remember remember the year that we beat was it what year was it? Was it last year or the year before where we won the exhibition game and then went and lost to TCU in the second exhibition game? Was that last year? We beat Kansas and then lost to TCU? I think that was last year.
maybe so. I thought it was. So when did we play? Was it Baylor? These games all run together.
Well, either way, it feels like it's been a minute since you won two, exhibition games convincingly against not Rogers State or whatever. But you did this against, teams that are, you know, teams that are going to be in the tournament probably, that kind of stuff. Uh, and yeah, dude, I mean, it is. I'm still shocked that we won this game by 24 points after being down 15. Like this team this team could put it on you in a hurry. I will say that. Like this team looks like they can go. I do think you'll see this team go on some runs during games where all of a sudden like they're like, well, that's an 11-0 run and someone's calling timeout. Like that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's still too small a sample size, but I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better, really. You have a game where you just kind of dominate front to back, and then another game where I think you maybe came in maybe a little bit overconfident, and the other team watched that game footage and was like, "You ain't gonna come do that to us." And they had something for us, got punched in the mouth, and then returned the favor.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I haven't listened to Cal's press conference, but I'm gonna guess that's what he's gonna say. Is he's gonna say, "Yeah, I couldn't have planned this any better
Yeah.
because I needed these guys to realize what other like there's levels to all of this, and
Yeah.
just because just because Cincinnati maybe had a bad shooting night or whatever doesn't mean you're just going to go in there and do that to everybody.
Hey,
You're going
you're
to have
gonna
to.
listen, guys. You're gonna know what's up the back half of next week, is we're gonna play on Monday against Southern, and not Southern Miss or Southern Oklahoma, just straight Southern. So that'll be good on Monday, and then it's at Michigan State, and those games count. And you're gonna be on the road, ranked team, Tom Izzo. Then you're gonna know a little something after that. We'll see. Well, that's when you're gonna know. But right now, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm going to be camping Monday, so that podcast will be out Tuesday evening, I guess, because I'm going to be
People will
out
be riveted for that Southern
out in the,
versus Arkansas pocket. I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you're not camping during the Michigan State one.
yeah, I know. I gotta go. I gotta go get out in the woods before, because pretty soon it's gonna be there ain't gonna be any time stretch of time where there's not a good game.
This
Once.
is yeah, like starting next week. Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
that's how it goes. All
mm-hmm.
right, man. Well, I think we can leave it there. Woo pig.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm ready to go to bed, dude.
I thought for a minute that this was going to be a bummer, and turned out nope. And
Yeah, that first 15 minutes was tough.
yeah, yeah, yep. Hogs look good, guys. So we'll see you next week when the games start to when those that
We
record starts to actually accumulate.
I know we looked good last year. We better don't go on some kind of six, like lose 6 games in a row thing.
I
I'm gonna
know
be so mad.
it's
So
not going to happen. Not
after
going to
this
happen.
football season, dude, we deserve one. I'll take it. I just, if the football team has to be terrible
For us to go
for
to
the basketball
for
team to
us to
be
go to the
awesome,
Final Four, we can accept it.
yeah. If we had to make a deal with the devil, and apparently, Tyson is the devil or something, but whatever needs to happen, whatever has to happen, I would, like I said, I'd rather them both be good. But if I had to take one, I would take basketball because it's my favorite sport. But it doesn't matter at this point because the football team is terrible. So I must have the basketball team be good. You know what I mean?
Correct. Correct.
So,
All right, bro. I'll see you later on.
all right, see you guys.